Hey man, what it is? This is Deem, and I am your host, and this is By Any Means. There go the Cash App, $Deem by any means. Y'all already know it works, y'all. It works. Support your boy. There go the PayPal at Deem by any means. Yeah, you can hit that super chat button at the bottom of this video. Absolutely, you can. Y'all already know what I'm about to say. I don't care if you leave $1, $10, $1,000. It is much, much, much appreciated. Unless you've been living under a rock for the last few days or whatever, then you know that Tszyu was knocked out by Bakaram Murtazaliev. And I think it's a beautiful thing. You know why? Because it proved two things. It proves that y'all need to stop saying people are nobodies. It proves that a lot of y'all don't watch boxing as much as you say you did, because y'all didn't hear Dean talk about this fight. You want to know why? Because I knew it was going to be much, much closer than y'all said. I knew Bakaram Murtazaliev was a bigger guy, a dog. He wasn't just no walk in the park. It's just that you didn't know who he was. So, it's mighty funny that Tszyu got knocked out and the whole world was surprised. You shouldn't have been surprised if you actually watch boxing. You should not have been surprised by that. Yeah. Murtazaliev was the number one ranked guy in that sanctioning body and was a mandatory for a reason. Yeah. Yup. You didn't think you would beat the guy in 3 rounds. I didn't think that either. I picked Tszyu and I was wrong. But to be honest, going into this fight, you kind of had to pick Tszyu because we did not see Tszyu fight in the way that he did. But somebody actually got to Tszyu because Tszyu' biggest flaw is that sometimes he go out there just welling punches and don't be defensively responsible. And Bakaram Murtazaliev made him pay dearly for that. The bully got bullied. You didn't know Bakaram Murtazaliev was as good as he was. Y'all was just told he was trash, and you went with that. You listen to other YouTube channels tell you the guy was the email champ and he not that good and it should be a walk in the park, and then it wasn't that because y'all don't know nothing about boxing. I already knew this fight was much, much closer than y'all was ever leading on for it to be. The only person that didn't know that is all the Earthmen. Even Tszyu said he was going to go in there to destroy him. I don't know why he thought that when you're fighting a bigger guy. He slept on him. And it's unfortunate, but a lot of these guys will continue to run with these narratives that people don't fight nobody and all this, that, and the third. You didn't know Pitbull Cruz was as good as he was until he fought Gervonta Davis. You didn't know that old man was as good as he was until he fought Rolly Romero. You didn't know Arthur had that much dog until he fought Frank Martin and Shakur Stevenson. You didn't know Madrimov was, and including me, you did not know that Madrimov was as good as he was until he fought Terence Crawford. This is why y'all got to stop calling people nobodies that are world champions and top contenders. They're literally not nobody. Literally, they're not nobody. A cherry pick is a guy that's the 15th ranked guy, the 13th ranked guy, maybe the 10th ranked guy. A cherry pick ain't never a top 5 guy in your weight division, in your sanctioning body. That's not a cherry pick. It's only a cherry pick to Earthmen that don't understand boxing because y'all know like 6 names in boxing. You know 10 names in boxing, and if they ain't fighting one of the other 10 names, they are cherry picks and ain't fighting nobody. Well, Bakaram Murtazaliev just proved to y'all that that's clearly not true. Buster Douglas has proved it. Pitbull Cruz has proved it. So many others have proven the same exact thing, and y'all still don't listen. Remember, all of y'all ran with Ryan Garcia is not that good, and he's a C-level fighter, and he's a bum. That's what everybody was running with before Devin Haney got his ass whooped. I don't care what you think about Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is not a bum. It's simple as that. Only the top guys can beat Ryan Garcia. Unfortunately. And number 2, what it showed me is that y'all talking about this 154 and why Boots scared of smoke at 154. All this showed me is that Boots would dominate 154. Y'all said that Tszyu was this murderer killer. You don't think that you think do you think that today that Tszyu got a chance against jaronennis? I watched Bakaram versus Aliev. I was highly impressed. It was a lot of flaws I saw too, and they didn't get exposed because Tszyu was not the fighter to expose that. What it also showed is that Sebastian Vandoor is much better than you thought he was as well. Yeah. Jaronennis is not scared at nobody at 147 or 154. Actually, he's probably the most talented fighter at both divisions. Unfortunately for all you Earthmen. I need to know that y'all so convinced now that Jaronennis won't do well at 154 and he's scared and he got to move up because all of the smoke is there. Hey, bro, Bakaram versus Aliev, it was not more known than Amantas Stanionis, Brian Norman Jr., or Mario Barrios. Yeah. Sad part is he probably beat all three of them that I said something about. Mario Barrios is a lot better than you think he is. Amantas Stanionis is a lot better than you think he is. We found out that Brian Norman Jr. was better than a lot of people thought he was. See, y'all don't really pay attention to guys. Y'all don't really pay attention to guys. This is why I tell people this. This is why I tell Devin Haney to stay away at the 147 division, because I understand that the 147 division, just because you may not know a lot of guys there, there's dogs there. There's people that's fighting there that could be troublesome, especially at the top of that division. The problem with the 147 is in the middle of it, they don't have a lot of guys that's worth anything. But that could change in a year or two once a guy or two gets put on the spotlight at those divisions. That's all that happens in boxing. You think I'm lying? Everybody talking about Dad, what's that boy name that performed very well, man? His name leaving my head. The boy with the braids. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Now everybody is such a fan of him. He was not talking about him 3 weeks ago, a month ago, 2 weeks ago, a couple days ago. You weren't talking about this man. Now he's on the map. You see how that works? Do y'all see how that works? Now people saying he'll beat Xander Zayas. You didn't even know who the guy was a week ago. This is why y'all need to pipe down on the stuff that y'all say. Absolutely. Y'all thought Terence Crawford would just run through Madrimov. That did not happen. And it's kind of hard for you to know who Madrimov was because he only had 11 fights. I get it. All that Tszyu losing showed me is that Jaronennis would definitely clean out that division. Absolutely. And if Terence Crawford do not fight him this upcoming year, he has no chance of beating him after that. After what I've seen against Israel Madrimov, no. Because I don't think Israel Madrimov has any chance of beating Jaronennis. Neither does Tszyu, neither does Earl Spence, neither does Sebastian Vandoor, neither does Israel Bakaram versus Aliev. That's just my opinion. I need to see what do they do better. They don't have better footwork. They're not stronger. They're not more explosive. They're not faster. Jaronennis would be one of the bigger guys at 154. Defensive responsibility and being able to dip, slip, and get out of the way of punches. They don't do that as well as him. See, because I know how to break down a fighter. Whether y'all like Boots because he get mentioned with Terence Crawford or not, that is not my problem or my troubles or my worries. My thing is, it's the truth of the matter. And he said if he don't get a unification fight next, he will be moving up. So all you people that claim that he's so scared to go to 154 and 154 got all this smoke, well, Tszyu just got knocked out of that. You found out Tszyu is not as good as you thought he was. I believe the whole 154 division is not as good as y'all think it is. That's Dame opinion. Bakaram versus Aliev could easily be the best fighter at that division. Just saying. Pipe down on the 147, don't got nobody, but 154 got all these somebodies when that is not true. It's much closer than you think. There's not no guarantee of Amantas Stanionis has a very good chance at going to 154 and doing very well at the division. So does Mario Barrios. Absolutely. But you wouldn't know that because you just go off of what YouTube channels say and think that that's law. because they told you Bakaram Murtazaliev was a bum and an email champion, and you believed it. Without even going to actually watch Bakaram Murtazaliev, you just believe what you heard. Cool. That's why you didn't see Dean make a video about Tszyu and all them prior to the fight, because I wasn't going to go with the same propaganda that y'all was going running with. I wasn't always sold on Baka. I wasn't always sold on Tszyu, and I didn't know enough about Bakaram Murtazaliev to give you an educational guess on who will win this fight. But people, because they don't know somebody, they'll just sit up there and say that the A-side guy or the popular guy, he's just going to murder him and win by this landslide. And as we've seen from Terence Crawford, as we've seen from Tszyu recently, all at that division, that is not true. As we saw from Gary Antoine Russell, that is not true. As we saw from Liam Poirot and Sabril Matias, that is not true. Don't be surprised if Lamont Roach and Gervonta Davis is a way better fight than you think it's going to be. Even though Lamont Roach probably still get knocked out. That's just how great Gervonta Davis is. That has nothing to do with the other guy's skills. Yeah. Tommy Hearns got knocked out by Marvin Hagler. It didn't change the fact that Tommy Hearns is a very great fighter. Now, did it? No. Y'all already know what this is, though, right? Deem by any means. And I'll holler at y'all.